Hello everybody, my name is Cody bringing us yet another video, and in today's video is the second take at trying to record this, because the first time I did this, I forgot to fix the screen proportions, so I was super zoomed in on very little of my screen, because the size difference between what I record for the Pokemon video earlier today versus how I usually record these videos is a very different amount of screen that it actually takes up. So you had to fix that. So, second try. So, today's video right now for the D&D Sunday video is the class overview of the Cleric. Yesterday and last Saturday, I had gone over the Cleric subclasses. I went over all of them in one video, or not all of them, but the rest of them that I needed to do in yesterday's subclass video. So you only have to watch two videos. Of course, they're somewhat long, so it might take a little bit of time to get through them, but if you want to watch them and learn about the subclasses and also know the ranking of them, in my opinion, then you can watch those two videos. It shouldn't take too much of your time, especially if you're a big fan of D&D or just like to hear my voice. But without any further ado and any more delay, let's hop into the overview of the class of the Cleric. So, right off the bat with your hit points, the hit die for you is a 1d8, meaning that you get 8 HP plus a Constitution modifier right off the bat, and every time you level up, you either roll a d8 or 5 plus your Constitution modifier per cleric level after first. So it is like a lot of the other classes so far, especially that they are just a d8 HP, which is probably the most average die to be rolling, other than I think the Barbarian and the Fighter, and maybe the Blood Hunter. Uh, they all are getting they all will get a D8 as their HP. Barbarians get a D12. Wizards, I believe, get a D6. And then just about everybody else gets a D8. Fighter and maybe Blood Hunter get a D10. So those are really only the changes there. Your proficiencies at first level is light, light and medium armor, and then shields. Certain subclasses will give you heavy armor. Your weapons are simple weapons. Some subclasses will allow you to use martial weapons. No tools. Your saving throws are wisdom and charisma, and your skills can be chosen two from history, insight, medicine, persuasion, and religion. As you can see, I have recorded this a little bit ago. As you can see, there are these are your options. Religion and medicine are the ones that I just chose as default because they're pretty close and pretty quick to click. You will be getting all of this, which I will go over all of this in another time, or you can just stop and read, because, hey, just, it'll be there for a little bit, or you can just, hit the space bar, hit the pause button in the middle of your phone or tablet or whatever you're watching this on, and you can just real quick read how all of this works. But what I will say is that your spell save DC is going to be 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your wisdom modifier. Your spell attack modifier will be your proficiency bonus plus your wisdom modifier. You can do ritual casting as long as it is a cleric spell that has the ritual tag. And your spellcasting focus can be your holy symbol that you get basically at the start being a cleric. And the very strong and unique thing of the cleric is that they get the divine domain, their subclass, at level 1, unlike level 3 for the majority of classes. So in choosing them, you'll usually get bonus proficiencies in some way, and you also get like another little special item there. Mostly all the really strong good things you're getting for this class is actually coming from the subclasses, because as you'll see as I go throughout this, you're not getting a whole lot from the actual class itself, unfortunately, but you are a spellcaster, so focus more on your spells as what you're getting from the class, not what the actual class is providing you. So don't be upset when you realize that you don't get anywhere near as much as a lot of the other classes are getting. You're a spellcaster. Focus more on the fact that you're casting spells, and of course what your subclass gives. But when you level up to second level, you get your first channel divinity. You'll get one of these per short or long rest. You'll get another one at 6th level, and then a third one at 18th level. So by the time you're level 18, you'll have 3 uses of Channel Divinity per short or long rest. The Channel Divinity that all classes get anytime you are the cleric, no matter what subclass you choose, you will always at least have this Channel Divinity of Channel Divinity Turn Undead. As an action, you present your holy symbol and speak a prayer censoring the undead. Each undead that can see or hear you within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw. If the creature fails its saving throw, it is turned for 1 minute or until it takes any damage. It is basically affected by the frightened condition. A turned creature must spend its turn trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. It also can't take reactions. For its actions, it can use only the dash action, or try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving, like if it was grappled or something. If there's nowhere to move, the creature can use the dodge action. So it's basically a stronger version of the frightened condition, because this makes it to where all they can do is flee. They have to just run away from you the entire time until it is no longer active, or try to avoid anything by using the dodge action. But it can't do the like if it can move with the dash action, it has to. You can't be like, oh, I move my movement speed. I can still move more. Like there's still spaces that can move, but instead I'm going to use the dodge action. No, it has to try and run away from you unless it cannot run away. Level 3 sadly grants you nothing. Level 4, as it does for all classes, grants you an ASI. Level 5 grants you Destroy Undead. Destroy Undead, starting at 5th level, when an undead fails its saving throw against your Return Undead feature, the creature is instantly destroyed if its challenge rating is at or below a certain threshold, as shown in the table below. So, right when you get this ability, any half or lower combat rating, that's what CR is, the combat rating is half or lower, it dies. At 8th level, it becomes 1 or lower, 11 is 2, 14 is 3, and 17 is 4. So you won't be able to destroy undead and just instantly kill a lich, but of course, a lot of their minions that they're creating of just normal skeletons, normal zombies, and stuff like that, they can be instantaneously killed by this, and a lot of times, undead creatures probably don't have the highest wisdom, because they don't really need it. At 6th level, you don't get anything, not from the class itself, but that is something you get at a subclass. Level 7, nothing. At level 8, you get another ASI. Level 9, At level 10, you get Divine Intervention. That will allow you to call upon your deity to intervene on your behalf when it is needed. Employing your deity's aid requires you to use your action, describe the assistance you seek, and roll a percentile dice. This is saying that you say, oh, my deity, whatever your deity may be, I call upon you to heal my team. You roll a percentile dice, which can be just a straight up D100, or you can have this, which will be a regular D10 here on the right, and a special D10 called a percentile dice usually, which will be consisting of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, so on and so on, and then double zero, representing either 0 or representing 100. If you roll 1 through 9 on the D10, and then a double zero on the 10 dice, the percentile dice, then that is a 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever it is. If you roll a 10 on the D10 and a 0 on the percentile dice, that is 100. So you will automatically fail it, basically. But if you are able to roll equal to or lower than your cleric level, your deity intervenes. The DM chooses the nature of the intervention. The effect of any cleric spell or domain spell would be appropriate, but it does not need to be a cleric spell or cleric domain spell. It can be. You can say, I need healing, and then your deity can just use, a healing spell that is possible. But it can also be, if I can, technically healing spell, like a group healing spell, would not get rid of, possibly like frightened condition, charmed condition, bringing people back to life. Well, it would bring people back to life, but not like from death. You would bring it back from unconscious, but it could be, getting rid of charmed, frightened, the poison condition, things like that. It can potentially, your DM can say, yeah, this is what I'll do, is that I'll heal you maybe a little bit less, but I'll also get rid of all the negative effects. It can also be that if you wanted it to attack your enemy, it can be that it, rather than doing a spell attack, it can literally just create as if your god punched from the heavens and just clocked the dragon in the jaw. That is also a possibility, depending on what your DM wants to do. If your deity intervenes, you can't use this feature again for a week, otherwise you can't use it again till you finish a long rest. At 20th level, your call for intervention automatically succeeds, no roll required. So once you're at max level, you can once a week guarantee that your god will intervene, however you may need them to intervene. At 11th level, you don't gain anything except for from your subclass. And uh-oh, it seems like my internet is not doing too well. Okay, are we back? Yay. Okay, so of course, every time you level up, you're getting an extra hit die, and you're gaining more HP. Of course, this would be a lot higher, because you're probably having like a +2 or +3 being a spellcaster. You'll probably want a decent, for a cleric, I would say, would be Wisdom, Wisdom, Constitution, and then Strength would be your three most important. Wisdom, obviously, because you're a wisdom-based spellcaster. Constitution, because spellcasters like to have Constitution for their ability to maintain concentration on spells. And Strength, because you'll need a bit of strength to be able to have the heavier armors on you, and because a lot of times you'll actually be able to hit people with a weapon. So if you want to run up and while wearing your heavy plate armor with your, your maul, which if you look here in the top right corner, I don't think this might not be a cleric, but it could be. So you have the heavier armor with a big old hammer in their hands. So that is potentially something you can do is heavy armor, big weapon. You need strength for both of those. Don't really need the dex, and intelligence and charisma are not the most important things for a cleric. So, I wouldn't recommend them going negative, but I also would not say to dump all of your points into those. At 12th level, you'll gain another ASI. I'm basically just going to skip to max level because there's only 2 things left, and unfortunately both of them are ASIs. There's no 20th level cleric related thing. You're just getting whatever the stuff is from your domain, which will be, you can see what they all are by watching the subclass videos, because I'll let you know. But you'll be getting something at 1st level, you'll be getting a channel divinity at 2nd level, you'll be getting something at 6th, 8th, and 17th level, and you'll be getting domain spells. So, yes, that is pretty nifty stuff that you get from your subclass. And of course, don't be too sad that you're not getting a lot from here, because of course you're getting spells, of course, all the way up to 9th level because you're a full caster, including 2 very powerful ones in Mass Heal, which is a 1-action thing. A flood of healing flows from you into injured creatures around you. You restore up to 700 hit points divided as you choose among any number of creatures that you can see within range. Creatures healed by this spell are also cured of all diseases and any effects making them blinded or deafened. It has no effect on undead and constructs. So you have 700 hit points worth that you can heal your team. So, not the thing that you want to be healing one ally with, but if your whole team is, somewhere below half HP, then you might want to pop this, and you can just bring everybody up to max. And you also get True Resurrection, which you can touch a creature that has been dead for no longer than 200 years, and they died for any reason except for old age. If the creature's soul is free and willing, the creature is rezzed. This spell also closes all wounds, neutralizes all poisons, cures all disease, and lifts any curses affecting the creature when it died. So if, they had died from being, from a weapon, if they died from poison, from a disease, if they died from a curse, anything like that, it'll be healed. The spell replaces damaged or missing organs and limbs, so if they got their head chopped off, or if they got stabbed through the heart, it'll heal those and replace them. If the creature was undead, it is restored to its non-undead form. The spell can even provide a new body if the original no longer exists, like if it was disintegrated or something, in which case you must speak the creature's name. The creature then appears in an unoccupied space you choose within 10 feet of you. So it will just actively bring anything back to life within 200 years. So, yeah, it's pretty strong. You'll have 5 cantrips at max level and 20 plus, I believe, plus your wisdom modifier. So at this point, you'll probably have 25, 26 prepared spells, and then domain spells too, if you're getting domain spells. So, yeah, it's all in all, it's pretty good what you can get from there. And then the optional feats are additional cleric spells, which just expands how many spells you can have. You'll get Harness Divine Power, which is just a second use of your channel divinity. So instead of doing Turn Undead, or whatever your subclass might be providing you, you can use this ability, which will allow you to use your channel divinity to regain a expended spell slot. It'll be half of your proficiency bonus, rounded up. So it'll basically be 1 through 3 at 1 to start and then 3 at max. So you can get some decent, you can get some spells back. And then the number of times you can use this feature is based on how many channel divinities you have. Once, twice, second, each time you gain a new channel divinity, and you can only use these, uh, up to 3 times at level 18 and 19, 20, and you can only use them after a long rest. So you couldn't, use all your spells. You regain them using channel divinity, take a short rest, regain a few more with channel divinity, take a short rest to regain channel divinity again. No, you can do it once, regain them at a long rest, and then you have to wait until you finish a long rest in order to do this ability again. And then at 4th level, you get cantrip versatility, which is that every time you get to an ASI, you can replace one of your old cantrips with a new one that you can possibly learn. This is not saying instead of taking an ability score improvement or taking a feature, you can learn a new, you can change out cantrips. This is on top of increasing your ability scores or on top of taking a feat, you can switch out your cantrips. So you'll still be able to increase your scores and you'll still be able to gain a feat, but you'll also get the little added effect of getting to swap out your cantrips. Because once you choose a cantrip, these are what you get. Once I choose, once I do this right here, that's it. I'm not able to switch those at any point. Those are what I get. If I wanted Spare the Dying instead of Resistance now, I can't do it unless I have this optional feature manager, if your DM of course allows it, because remember, as I always say, please wait. Don't just think that you can do whatever you want. Please make sure that your DM does not mind that you're taking these optional features. And then these are the, I don't think I didn't think I popped this up, but these are what you're getting when you choose this. And right here, each spell is in the player's handbook unless it has an asterisk. A spell in Chapter 3 of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Xanagathar's Guide to Everything also offers more spells. So Spirit Shroud and Summon Celestial are both from this right here, Tasha's Guide to Everything, which you would need to have Tasha's Guide to Everything in order to get those areas. Oh, and look at that. You also get Blessed Strikes, because if you have I guess if you have a subclass, then you can change out, let's see, what is it? It is Divine Strikes, correct? Yeah, Divine Strike. You can get Blessed Strike, which will replace Divine Strike or Potent Spellcasting feature. You are blessed with Divine Might in battle. When a creature takes damage from one of your cantrips or weapon attacks, you can also deal 1d8 radiant damage to that creature. Once you deal this damage, you can't use this feature again until the start of your next turn. This replaces Divine Strike, and I'm assuming that it's going to be the exact same change if you were to have Potent Spellcasting. Yeah, it'll just change out and it'll still be radiant damage. It won't be, the Forge Domain is actually fire damage. It's not going to be fire damage. It'll always be radiant damage. So if you want to be able to use this on top of cantrips, then you can switch over for this one. It might be better to choose this one over Potent Spellcasting, but it might be smarter to choose to be choosing Divine Strike over Blessed Strikes, depending on what your Divine Strike is. So, whichever one is needed, or whichever one makes more sense at the time. And it's a good thing I clicked on, I have a subclass. Might have some of the other subclasses, like some of the other subclasses might also have a different replacement feature, so look into those if you'd like, but of course these are not part of the class itself, so not something that you really should be saying, oh, I want to pick the Cleric because I can have this ability right here. Well, yeah, you might be able to have it, but your DM might also say, no, you can't have it. But, there's that. So if you do choose the additional Cleric spells, I was supposed to go over this and I accidentally went to Tasha's Guide of Everything. At 3rd level, you can choose from Aura of Vitality and Spirit Shroud. 4th is Aura of Life and Aura of Purity. 5th is Summon Celestial. 6th is Sunbeam. 8th is Sunburst. And 9th is Power Word Heal. So if you do choose to have this active, you'll have a couple of extra spells that you can choose from. But you've already got a pretty big list of spells to be choosing from as a Cleric, so don't necessarily need more, but why not? If you can't have more, why not have more? But make sure your DM says it's fine. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Definitely a lot shorter than other videos, but there's also a lot less to be going over with this class because, well, as you saw, it doesn't really have a lot to give as the base class itself. A lot of the stuff that you're getting that's kind of cool is A, your spells, and B, whatever your subclass might be giving to you. So pay attention to that a bit more than what the class itself does. But yeah, that does it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, then consider hitting the like button and commenting down below what you guys did enjoy so I can continue doing it to continue making the videos as well as I have been. If you guys didn't like the video, then go ahead and dislike it and comment down below what you didn't like so I can improve upon it and make the videos better for y'all. If you guys want to know when I upload, then the best way to know is by subscribing. But that does it for this video. Until next time, bye guys.